My name's Nathan Briggs, 34. Up until a few months ago, I was a freelance developer in Boulder, Colorado. Most nights it was just me and my laptop, hunched over some code I actually cared about while everyone else slept. That's where I was when things with Erika blew up. Erika Lell, she was 30. We'd been together 3 years. She worked as an executive assistant at an investment firm downtown. On paper, we looked solid. We split rent on a 2-bedroom near the university. Each paid half the bills, kept our money mostly separate. It all seemed fair, but honestly, we were drifting in totally different directions. Erika loved the look of things. Designer bags, bottomless brunches with her coworkers, weekend getaways to Aspen or Jackson Hole, all of it curated for Instagram, every shot carefully filtered and hashtagged. She wanted to be seen, wanted people to envy her. She'd scroll through her phone at night and sigh, everyone else is living their best life except us. I was focused somewhere else entirely. For a year and a half, I'd been building a software platform from scratch. It was a project management tool with some solid AI features, made specifically for mid-sized tech companies. Not sexy, not flashy, but it worked. I knew it could go somewhere. Every dime I made from freelancing went right back into the project. I wasn't broke, but I wasn't dropping cash on useless stuff either. That gap between us kept getting wider. Then, one Thursday night in early February 2025, Erika came home and dropped a printed itinerary on the counter. Weekend in Napa Valley. Wine tastings, fancy dinners, boutique hotel, the works. Her office friends were all going and she wanted us to join. It's $200 each, she said. But it's worth it. Everyone's going. I looked at the paper, looked at her. I just shook my head. I can't swing that right now. I told her the truth. I was finalizing the beta. Every dollar mattered. Her whole face changed. Not sad, just cold. Of course you can't, she snapped. You never can. It's always about your little project. I kept my voice calm. It's not little. I've been building this for a year and a half. She shot right back. And where has it gotten you? Nowhere. We're still stuck in this mediocre apartment, and I still have to explain to my friends why my boyfriend can't afford a weekend trip. I didn't bother arguing. What was the point? She stared at me for a long time, then just shook her head. You're never going to be enough for my lifestyle, Nathan. That line just sat in the air. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of zippers. Erika was packing. Not for Napa, for good. I'm done waiting for you to figure your life out, she said, not even looking at me. I need someone who can actually keep up. She left before noon. No yelling, no tears, just a clean break. I sat on the couch for 10 minutes, staring at the empty space where her stuff used to be. Then I got up, walked over to my desk, and opened my laptop. If you like stories about cold revenge and wild plot twists, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. There are new stories here every day, each one crazier than the last. Anyway, I didn't chase after her. Didn't send long texts, didn't try to win her back. I just kept working. Some nights I slept 3 hours. Other nights I didn't sleep at all. But the code kept getting better. The platform got sharper, and exactly 29 days after Erika walked out, I got a call that flipped everything upside down. It was a venture capital firm from San Francisco. They'd been watching my platform through a mutual contact and wanted to talk numbers. 3 days later, I was in a conference room with 4 people in expensive suits, showing off the demo I'd built in my tiny apartment. No small talk. They grilled me on scalability, integration, security. I answered everything. This was my code. I knew it inside out. By the end, they made an offer. Not for investment, for the whole thing. $5.2 million. A San Francisco tech company wanted to buy my platform, bring me on as a senior consultant, and roll my software into their product suite. I'd get a cut of equity, $175,000 a year. Work remotely, move if I wanted. I signed the paperwork 2 weeks later, mid-March 2025. The money cleared on a Tuesday. I just stared at my phone, looking at the balance, half expecting it to disappear. But it was real. Everything changed in less than a month. I didn't go wild with the money. That's not me. But I did upgrade my life where it mattered. I left the apartment Erika and I used to share and moved into a modern loft right in downtown Boulder. Floor-to-ceiling windows, exposed brick, a real office setup, the kind I'd always wanted but never had. The rent was $2,800 a month, which sounded crazy before, but now it felt totally fine. I bought a used 2022 Tesla Model 3 for $42,000. Not to show off or anything. It just made sense. I started dressing better too. Nothing flashy, just solid professional stuff from Banana Republic and J. Crew. Clean, fitted, grown up. The real shift, though, was that people started inviting me to things. Industry events, networking mixers, tech conferences with founders and investors all talking about the next big thing. I wasn't just a freelance developer anymore. People wanted to know me. That's how I ended up at this event in May. Wednesday evening, mid-May 2025, about 2 months after the acquisition. It was a tech and investment networking night at some fancy spot in downtown Denver, about a 40-minute drive from Boulder. The place had an open bar, moody lighting, waiters everywhere with trays of appetizers. Honestly, I almost skipped it. But my new consulting firm pushed me to go. Good for visibility, they said. I showed up around 7. Packed house, everyone in business casual, all holding drinks, swapping cards. I recognized a few people from earlier meetings, shook some hands, did the usual small talk. At the bar, I ended up chatting with a senior analyst from a private equity firm. That's when I caught something interesting. 2 guys standing nearby were talking about an investment pitch that got shot down. One of them mentioned the name of the company, the same company that had just acquired my platform. The other guy groaned and said, "Yeah, my boss tried to get in on that deal. Sent a proposal 3 weeks ago. Got turned down flat yesterday. They said they're not looking for outside investors right now. Rough." The first guy asked, "Who's your boss?" "Richard Kellerman. He's a portfolio manager at Sterling Grove Investments." That hit me. Sterling Grove, that was Erika's company. I turned a little, trying not to make it obvious, and asked, "Sterling Grove, downtown? The one on 17th Street? He nodded. "Yeah, that's the one," I said. "I know someone who works there. Erika Lell, she's an executive assistant." His eyes lit up. "Oh yeah, Erika. She works right under Kellerman. Small world." I just nodded, smiled, and slipped away into another group. But my mind was spinning. Erika's boss had tried to invest in the company that now employed me, and he got rejected. The irony wasn't lost on me. I spent the next hour working the room, keeping my focus. Talked to a VP from a cybersecurity startup, a product manager from a SaaS company, a couple of angel investors interested in my story. The conversations went well. People listened. I felt like I belonged there. Then I saw her. Erika stood near the back, glass of white wine in hand, chatting with 2 women I didn't know. She looked exactly the same. Same perfectly styled hair, same designer outfit, same confident posture that always made her seem untouchable. She hadn't noticed me. I watched her for a second, running through my options. I could walk out. I could hang back, or just let things play out. Turns out fate didn't wait. One of the investors I'd been speaking with called to someone across the room, and the crowd shifted. Suddenly I was right in the open, and Erika's eyes found me. Her face changed. Surprise, confusion, then something else. She said something to her friends and started walking over. I didn't move. I stood there, drink in hand, as the people around me talked about machine learning. Erika came closer, trying to catch my eye, but I turned a little and jumped into the conversation. My back half turned to her. She stopped just behind me, hesitated. I could feel her there, but I kept talking to the group. Then one of my guys nodded toward the bar, and our little circle moved away, drifting naturally past her. I went along, still deep in conversation. Didn't look back, at least not right away. When I finally did, just for a moment, I saw her standing alone, watching me walk away, wearing an expression I knew all too well. Yeah, I recognized that look right away. It was the same one I probably had when she left our place, dragging her suitcases behind her. The look of someone who just realized they screwed up. I turned back to the group, kept the conversation rolling, and honestly, the rest of the night went off without a hitch. Swapped numbers with a few people, locked in a couple of follow-up meetings, and left around 10 feeling pretty good about the new connections. Erika was gone by the time I headed out. 3 days later, my phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't know. It took me a second, but I figured out it was her. She must have changed her number after the breakup. "Hey, Nathan. Saw you at the event the other night. Would love to catch up sometime. Coffee?" I stared at it, read it again, then just deleted it. Didn't even answer. That was just the beginning. Over the next week and a half, she kept at it. Another text asking if I'd seen her last message. Then she left a voicemail on my work phone. No idea how she got that number. Her voice sounded casual, upbeat, like we were just old friends catching up after a few years apart. Hey, it's me. Just wanted to say it was good seeing you. You look great, by the way. Really doing well for yourself. Give me a call when you have a chance. I never called. After that, she switched to social media, sent a LinkedIn request with a note. Congratulations on your success. Would love to hear about what you're working on these days. I let it sit there for 2 days, then declined. Next came Instagram. Follow request, then a DM. I know things ended badly between us, but I think we should talk. I've done a lot of thinking. Didn't even open it. Just archived the message. It wasn't about being cruel or getting revenge. I wasn't punishing her. I was just moving forward and she wasn't coming along. There wasn't anything left to say. No big conversation, no closure. She made her choice when she walked out, and I made mine by keeping my head down and moving on. Work kept me busy. Late May turned into June before I even noticed. The consulting gig with the San Francisco tech company was more demanding than I'd expected, but in a good way. People actually listened to my ideas. I got to sit in on strategic meetings, product brainstorms, roadmap planning. My opinion actually counted for something. For the first time in my career, I wasn't just following orders. I was helping shape the whole thing. Pretty soon I started getting speaking invites. At first it was small stuff. A panel at a local tech meetup in Boulder. A guest lecture at CU Boulder's engineering program. But then bigger things started rolling in. 4 months after the acquisition, in late June 2025, I got an email from the people who run Tech Connect Summit, big industry conference in Denver. Draws crowds from all over the Western U.S. They wanted me on a panel about AI integration and project management tools. Companies sent their execs, investors circled for deals. It was the kind of spotlight that opens new doors. I said yes right away. The conference was set for late July. As it got closer, I worked up my talking points, ran through possible questions, made sure my new business cards looked sharp, not nervous exactly. I'd done plenty of speaking gigs. But this time felt bigger, like it actually mattered. The day came, a Thursday morning, late July. I drove up to Denver, checked into the hotel where the conference was happening, and spent an hour going over my notes. My panel was at 2, but things kicked off at 9 with breakfast and a bunch of morning workshops. I decided to check out a few sessions, mingle, size up the crowd. That's when I spotted Richard Kellerman. He was over by the registration table talking to 2 guys in expensive suits. I'd seen his picture on the Sterling Grove Investments website after I overheard his name at that May networking event. Mid-50s, gray hair, stood with the confidence of someone who's been closing deals for decades. Erika's boss. I grabbed a coffee and drifted close enough to listen in without making it obvious. They were talking about portfolios, market swings, missed chances. One of the guys brought up a tech acquisition they'd missed out on, a deal that would have been a solid 7-figure return. We tried, Kellerman said, sounding annoyed. Put together a clean proposal back in April. The company didn't want outside investors. They already had their setup. Which company? One of the guys asked. Kellerman said the name of the firm that had bought my platform. Tough break, the guy said. They're killing it. That AI project management tool they grabbed is blowing up. Kellerman just grunted. Yeah, don't remind me. We could have been in on that. I took a sip of coffee and walked away, hiding a smile. The panel had gone great. I answered everything clearly, told a few jokes that actually landed, and hit it off with the other panelists. When it wrapped up, people came over to ask for my card or talk about teaming up. I spent the next couple hours bouncing from one solid conversation to another, swapping contacts, lining up follow-ups. By late afternoon, I was in one of the main networking areas, chatting with a CTO from a logistics software company. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone walk in. Erika, impeccable as always, navy dress, heels, leather portfolio in hand. She looked all business, probably there for Kellerman or Sterling Grove. Her eyes swept the room, sharp, searching for someone. Then she spotted me. She changed course immediately, heading straight over with this careful, polite expression. But I could see she had something urgent to say. I caught sight of her, and in that split second I had to decide what to do. I turned back to the CTO, asked him something deeper about cloud infrastructure, pulled the conversation in closer. A couple more people had joined us, so I shifted so my back was half turned to Erika. She reached our group and hovered at the edge. I could feel her there, waiting for a pause, but I didn't give her one. I kept going, just focused on the people in front of me. After maybe 30 seconds, she cleared her throat, soft but obvious. I didn't turn. The CTO glanced behind me, saw her, then locked back in on our chat. The conversation just kept rolling, drifting from one topic to the next. I was right in the middle of talking about API integration headaches when I heard her say my name. Nathan. I finished my point, waited a beat, then turned like I'd just realized someone had spoken. Our eyes met. For a second, neither of us said anything. I could tell she was running through her options. How to handle this, what to say, how to reconnect with someone who'd clearly moved on. I gave her a short, neutral nod, the kind you'd give a stranger. Then I turned back to the group. Didn't say a word. She stood there a moment longer, then walked away. I didn't watch her leave. I stuck with the group for another 10 minutes, wrapped up the conversation, then checked my phone. When I looked up, Erika was gone. That night back in Boulder, I got another text from her. This one was longer, more desperate. I know you're upset and you have every right to be. I was wrong about a lot of things. I just want a chance to apologize properly, please. I read it in my loft, looking out at the city lights. Then I blocked her number. Blocking her felt final in a way nothing else had. It wasn't dramatic or emotional, just a decision to close a door I'd left open too long. Now it was locked and I wasn't interested in finding the key. Life just kept rolling through August into September. Consulting work stayed busy and interesting. I got pulled into more important meetings, asked to weigh in on acquisitions, even offered equity in a spin-off the company was planning. Money stopped being something I worried about. For years I'd tracked every dollar, watched every expense. Now it was just a tool, not a source of anxiety. I started dating again. Nothing serious, just dinners, conversations, meeting people through work or friends. It felt good to be around someone who saw me as I am now, not who I used to be. No pressure, no expectations, just the possibility of something real. Late September 2025, I got an invite to speak at another conference, this time in San Francisco. The company that bought my platform was hosting, and they wanted me to present a case study on the AI integration. It was a big deal. The audience would be full of tech industry big shots, potential partners, media, pretty much everyone who mattered. I caught an early Tuesday flight in October. Nothing special, just the usual pre-dawn haze and airport coffee. The conference center was something else, though. Glass everywhere, clean lines, all of it looking out over the bay. I checked into my hotel, ran through my slides one last time, and headed to the venue just before noon. My case study was on the schedule for 3 hours, so I had time to spare. I wandered the expo hall, browsed the booths, chatted with whoever looked interesting. The whole place buzzed with energy, people networking, swapping ideas, cutting deals. It felt alive. Around 2:30, I headed to my conference room. Big space, theater seats for maybe 200 people. I did a quick sound check with the AV team, made sure my slides loaded, then hung back while the crowd filed in. The room filled up fast. When it was time, I stepped out and walked everyone through our development process, from the first concept sketch to the final integration. I broke down the technical problems and how I solved them, just laid it all out. The questions afterward were sharp. People really listened, you could tell. A few folks came up to swap business cards. One journalist from a tech magazine asked if I'd do a follow-up interview. I said sure, why not? Later, there was the usual networking reception in the ballroom next door. Open bar, fancy snacks, clusters of people talking shop. I grabbed a beer, made the rounds, shook hands, traded stories. Those conversations that sometimes turn into something real down the line. About 40 minutes in, someone tapped my shoulder. I turned and found myself facing a guy I didn't know. Mid-50s, suit that probably cost more than my laptop, tired eyes. "Nathan Briggs?" he asked. "That's me." He stuck out his hand. "Richard Kellerman." Sterling Grove Investments. We shook. I kept it polite. He said, I saw your presentation. Impressive work. The AI integration you built is exactly the kind of thing we look for. I thanked him. He took a sip of his drink and kept going. Actually, we tried to get involved with the company that bought your platform. Sent a proposal in April. Timing just didn't line up. I nodded. Yeah, I heard. They were pretty committed to their own team. He shrugged. Missed opportunity for us. That's business. Some you win, some you lose. We talked shop for a few minutes, market trends, investment strategies. He knew his stuff. On another day, I might have enjoyed the conversation. But the whole time I kept thinking about Erika, her answering his calls, scheduling his meetings, watching his career take off while hers stayed stuck. Eventually, he excused himself and wandered off. I watched him go, finished my beer, and moved on. I never told him I knew Erika, no reason to. Didn't matter. The conference wrapped up the next day. I flew back to Colorado feeling good. New contacts, new possibilities on the table. Everything felt like it was finally clicking. A week later, I grabbed coffee with an old colleague in Boulder. In the middle of catching up, he mentioned something. You know Sterling Grove, that investment firm downtown? Yeah, I said. What about it? Heard they're restructuring, laying off support staff. Budget cuts or something? I didn't ask for details. Wasn't my business, but I thought about Erika for a second. Wondered if she was part of that. Then I let it go. By mid-October 2025, almost 8 months since Erika walked out, my life looked nothing like it used to. I had money in the bank, respect in my field, a network of people who actually valued what I brought to the table. I lived where I wanted, drove a car I liked, worked on projects that kept me sharp, and honestly, I had peace. Erika stopped texting. No more late-night calls. She got the message or maybe just moved on herself. Either way, I didn't care. That chapter was closed. Sometimes, though, I'd think about what she said before she left. You're never going to be enough for my lifestyle. That line stuck with me for a while. This quiet little jab that maybe I wasn't measuring up. Turns out she was right, but not in the way she thought. I wasn't enough for her lifestyle because her lifestyle was all surface, all borrowed shine, trying to be someone she wasn't. I had no interest in playing that game. I was enough for my own life, the one I built through discipline and refusing to quit when things got rough. Success for me wasn't about designer logos or fancy vacations. It was about building something real, something valuable, and being recognized for it. That's where we truly differed. She always needed someone else's approval. Me, I learned to find it in myself. When I look back, I'm not mad about the way things ended. I'm not exactly thrilled either. It just happened, and that's it. She picked what mattered to her. I stuck with what I believed in. We made our choices, and honestly, things unfolded just the way they were supposed to. Revenge isn't always some big, dramatic move. Sometimes it's just living well and refusing to dwell on the past. It's about knowing your value and not letting anyone talk you out of it. You focus on building something real and let your life speak for itself. Erika wanted someone who could match her pace. But here's the thing. Matching anyone wasn't on my list. I was carving out my own way. By the time she realized what she'd left behind, I was long gone. Too far ahead to even see her in the mirror. That's how success works. It doesn't perform for a crowd or beg for approval. It just stands there, quiet, steady, built on the work nobody else noticed. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. If you liked this story, hit like and drop a comment to let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next story.